Hello everybody, Cone Dodger here, and we are doing something a little bit different today. This strange looking program you are seeing on screen is called Sandbox. And the reason we are here is because during the last video update by KillRob for automation, I got some inspiration to do a track recreation, or a track creation basically, of the test track that will be used in automation. Now, just to clarify, this is a test track that your car will be basically driven by quote unquote AI, or it just sends your car along down this track. You don't control it, and it's just to give you some test results to see how fast and how good handling and how enjoyable and such and whatever your car is, but not necessarily you go out and drive. Okay, so why are we here? Well, track design is something that I've spent a large portion of my life doing. I grew up just doing track design on paper, and then in about the year 2002, I started doing actual track design for games. It started with Nascar Heat, and I did, just very minimalistic stuff kind of there. It was not as in depth as this is. And this is Sandbox, which is a track creation tool for the game NASCAR Racing 2003, which, if you know anything about sim racing, is pretty much heralded as the crown jewel of definitely NASCAR sims, but overall just sim racing games in general. This game is what became iRacing. The two look very similar and drive very similarly. This is a little bit more limited in technology, but it did include this program, which I learned very extensively. It's not the most straightforward program to use in the world, but it is an excellent tool to make tracks, and I ended up making hundreds of fully functioning, complete tracks for the game. But a couple of years ago, I got out of it. Just time to move on to a new hobby, which has become YouTube. But, as I said, I got inspired by the track design posted by KillRob, and now I want to try and recreate it. So enough talky talk, let's start working. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do this, but there'll probably be a lot of fast forwarding, because this is kind of a boring process. But I just want to work out in just one video here, at least show you what the track would look like. I've already taken that track layout, posted it in the video, converted it into a file that I can put into here, and here it is. So there's the image that we saw in the video, and this is great because it gives the radius and the physical degrees of the turns. It gives the distance of the straightaways in meters, I'm hoping. I can only assume they would use meters. And I can just go ahead and... Now I've already scaled this out, so it should be right. But if I put a new guide on here, and if I can find it... guide, where are you? Yeah, like I said, not the most straightforward program. There it is. Okay. And it has been years since I did anything in this, so I will be very rusty, and this is just going to be kind of a rough sketch of the track, basically. But there we go. That's roughly 1,000 meters for that straightaway. And that means that we are in scale. And let's make sure that it's in scale on the other plane as well. So this one should be approximately 110. Yep, I think I'm just going a little long there. Okay, so you can see that that is in the correct scale. Now I'm thinking this is where it's saying that the start-finish line should be, so that is where I will start. This here is the track. This is... Oops, I gotta unlock. Did I unlock? Apparently not. Unlock? No? There we go. This is basically the model of the track interpreted into sections. The red ones are basically your height map. The green ones are your textures for the ground, and the blue ones are physical walls and textures for the walls. And in this case, I think I'm going to just leave it as it is. This is kind of a template I made years ago. I need to flip the direction this way. And for right now, I will just extend this straightaway all the way out. So now what I need to do, let me turn on the texture so you can actually see. Oh nope, that's not what I wanted. Geometry view, draw a world underneath. So there you go. Now you can see what I mean. There's the track, and that is a 2D representation of it. And there is a camera view as well, which probably won't record, at least not for now. I'll figure out how to get that on camera later. But for now, I want to go ahead and basically trace out this track, and I'll probably fast forward through that, and I'll come back to you when we can see what it looks like. Alright, so here we go. Here is the completed layout. I've just kind of pushed the walls and the grass out a little bit so that it's got some breathing room. Overall, it went pretty smoothly. There's some areas that might be slightly off in radius. Now that includes this turn here, which is a reduced radius turn, so it starts out wider and then gets tighter. And there was another one over here, I believe. This is a little bit off of what their radius reading is, but overall, pretty darn close. And yeah, there we have it. Now what we can do is, hopefully this switches over correctly. If not, I'll be recording this section again. Here is the camera view. So we'll zoom all the way out. We're just kind of in a free camera now. And you can see here is the start-finish end of the track. There's the start-finish line right about here, and then that first turn complex, so real tight turns there. This one would be particularly tight, but not impossible. It would be a very hard braking zone here, and then probably the lowest speed turn of the track. And then we would go around the long straightaway and that big long sweeping turn. These are the kind of turns I really loved. All of my tracks, most of my the tracks I made were road courses, and they would all have some kind of big fast sweeper like this. Now none of these turns have banking. I don't have any kind of banking to go off of. I would do the banking myself and just kind of add 2 or 3 degrees to some of these turns, if need be. But I really just kind of wanted to see the layout, so I'm gonna switch over to driving mode, which is kind of a disorienting camera, but it will take us around it at this just kind of center middle of the line view, and we'll take a little tour of the track. Alrighty, so that is it. That is the track. It messed up. The camera messed up a little bit over here, but you got a pretty good representation of what it looks like. And I think it's a pretty neat layout. I'm half tempted to just kind of work it out a little bit more, but unfortunately, I have not been able to get the game NASCAR Racing 2003 to work on my current computer configuration. If there's any interest in seeing it now with an actual car on the track, let me know, and I will work on trying to get it to work in the game. But otherwise, this is pretty much all I wanted to do, was just kind of get a better visual representation of what the track looks like. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this little one-off video where I just kind of wanted to show you, track making. Like, this was a huge part of my life for a long time, was doing tracks at Sandbox like this. So I wanted to kind of do a video on that. And we got a little sneak preview what the track looks like in automation. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.